Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book The Relentless Moon by Mary Robinette Kowal, the third book in the Lady Astronaut series. I've been reviewing this series on the channel for the past couple of months. I read at the beginning of summertime, I read The Calculating Stars, which I thought was a superb book. And really for the whole trilogy, I think the whole trilogy pitches, if you like For All Mankind, the TV show, you'll enjoy these books. And so I read the first book, I loved it, and I was super excited. And I read the second book, which was a good book overall, but man, did I have so many things I did not like about the book. It's an example of, like, I can feel that the experience was good, but I took away so much bad from it, which was kind of sad. But still, it's still a good book. It was fine. And so I picked up the third book, which was one, not at all what I expected, but I am very happy about that. And two, I think it fixed the problems that book two had, but yet created a few of its own. So getting into a little bit of specifics about the book, the first two books follow the character of Alma York. First, as she gets a part of the astronaut program in this alternate history, and then the second book follows her as she joins the crew that goes to Mars. They've already built a moon base, now they're going to Mars. And so that's where the second book left off. So I thought I was going to be following her story as she's now on Mars. But instead, we follow another character, Nicole Wargren, who was in the first two books as a minor character. The first two books are written in first person from Elma's perspective. And this book is also written in first person, but from Nicole Wargren's perspective. So it's interesting to switch perspectives mid-series. But you follow Nicole, who is, she is an astronaut on her own. She's one of the original six as this group that they have. She's part of the Lady Astronaut group, but she's also the wife of Kenneth Wargren, who is the governor of Kansas, who is running for president of the United States, and he's a big supporter of the space program. And she is sent on assignment to the moon to have a rotation there. I think it was like for 6 months or a year or something, as an employee on the moon base. And then she's set to come home and help her husband with the election. And you really follow their relationship and dynamic as husband and wife, and I really enjoyed it. In the first two books, when you have Alma and Nathaniel, the author, Mary Robinette Kowal, just like ran straight towards sexual scenes and sex talk and all that stuff, which was just unappealing to me as a reader. I get that they're married, and I appreciate that she would overall keep the scenes between a married couple, but still I was like, I don't need to read about that in my space book. Give me the space stuff. Give me romance, but give me the space stuff. And here there's still a little bit of like romantic interplay and flirting between Nicole and her husband, but they're older, they're in their 50s, so they're quite not as ambitious as Alma and Nathaniel are. But still, I liked their dynamic, and then I also liked the general plot of the book. This book turns into a big mystery. They believe that the Earth Firsters, which if you've read the other books, you know what I'm talking about, the Earth Firsters are sabotaging the moon base operations. How? How could a Earth Firster even get on the moon? All that discussion is happening in this book. And it's all about, stopping the Earth Firsters on the moon, but also stopping what their operations are on the ground. And there's fear for not only Nicole's life on the moon, but for her husband Kenneth's life on the ground. And you see her utilize her leadership skills that she has developed and use them for good, despite the fact that she has many flaws in this book. And so I liked all that. That being said, this is a beefy book. It is a tome. It is over 530 pages, whereas the first two books hovered around the 400-something and just under 400 pages mark. And because of that, I think that the book drags a little bit in the middle. I think that the author tried to set up too much mystery, and so she tried to have too many threads going with it and too much setup for it. I think that maybe about 50 to 100 pages of the mystery in the middle, maybe about the 2/3 part, should have been cut. The ending was really well written, and the first 200 pages I thought were really well written. It's just that kind of middle part that I think should have been cut down a bit. And if it had, not only would it have matched the first 2 books in length, but it would have felt pacing a little bit better. But it is better in terms of, I think, story than the second book. The story of the second book felt much more aimless and much more, are we there yet? Like it was kind of boring at times. Whereas this book, it was too much at times, but it still felt like it was a good mystery and still felt like it was generally a good story. And I really like the exploration of the science, an exploration of the politics, an exploration of the social structure of how things happen. How do different countries work? How did you set up a government on the moon? How does that work? All those stuff is explained here. I believe that the fourth book is being worked on by Mary Robinette Kowal, and I think should come out in the next couple of years, and I'm excited to read that if/when it comes out. But this book was a good kind of a diversion book. There was another series, a fantasy series I read that did a similar diversion, where you had the Rune Lord series, the 8th book, Chaos Bound, covered, switched from the main character group that we were following to another character that we knew really well and was a major part of the series, but it all went to him suddenly, and it felt like a jarring move. And the problem with that was the author stopped publishing the books after that, and he was working on the final book and eventually died. So I'm hoping that Mary Robinette Kowal does get the next book out, because I think that the next book will tie in the 2 threads of this, the political events of this book and the space exploration of this book. And I think that will lead to a really great 4th book in the series. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was really good overall. I just think that it just needed to be slimmed a little bit in the middle. So if you've read The Relentless Moon by Mary Robinette Kowal, the beefy book by her, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. But until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.